Ciao venditori, bentornati. Se siete nuovi su questo canale, benvenuti. Oggi andiamo a fare una chiacchierata con i ragazzi di Feedback Whiz, un'azienda che si occupa di gestione per quanto riguarda il feedback da parte dei clienti. Nello specifico quello che facciamo è praticamente poter fare mail di follow up con i clienti, gestire le nostre recensioni, capire quali sono i problemi, creare delle campagne di email per i nostri clienti, anche gestendole in base ai vari stati del nostro ordine. Senza che parlo troppo, entriamo un attimo nel computer e alla fine del video vi farò un riassunto di quello che ci siamo detti. Ok ragazzi, eccoci nel computer con Gigi e Hanson di Feedback Whiz che ci daranno una mano a far capire un po' come funziona meglio questo tool, che è un tool di gestione per quanto riguarda appunto il nostro seller center. Quindi possiamo mandare email, possiamo gestire i nostri ordini, vedere le recensioni, creare campagne, che secondo me è la cosa più importante, la cosa più carina di questo software, che ci consente appunto di fare follow up anche con i clienti. Comunque adesso, come sempre, parleremo in inglese e alla fine del video farò un riassunto di quello che ci siamo detti. Comunque poi faremo uno screen sharing dove potete vedere anche le informazioni. Okay, so I did the introduction in Italian. So thank you very much for being here with me today. Thank you for showing us your tool. So as we were saying before, we'll go now through the screen sharing with you guys, so you can show us how this tool works and how can we use it in our seller center.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for inviting us to be on this video. And let me share you the screen to show you what our app looks like. So give me a second here. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so so this is Feedback Whiz, and our tool is a SaaS tool for Amazon sellers, and you know, we can integrate all your data from Seller Central, and what we basically will help you do is automate emails, get product reviews, prevent getting negative product reviews, and we can monitor all your product reviews as well. So so this is our main dashboard here, and what you're going to see is some overview stats of, you know, your orders, your feedback, your sales, your product reviews, and you can change this by time frame as well, so you can see all your data change based on, you know, what you want to see, and you can also do custom dates as well. We have some things like quick stats where you can see like best-selling products, you know, most frequent buyers, you know, what's your most reviewed products. And the campaign history here will show you all the active email campaigns that's currently running through our platform. So you have a idea of, like, you know, when my last email was sent, you know, how many emails were sent, time frame. Yeah. So let me go to one of our main pages here, the orders page here. And like I told Chris earlier, this page here, what we do is we get all your data from Amazon every 15 minutes, and these are all the orders that come in, and we try to integrate all the data for each order, so you'll be able to see, like, you know, their name, the order ID. You can search by, you know, address, where they bought it from, in any time frame. There's different statuses, like, you know, if you want to look at FBM orders, FBA, refunds, it's all here. So everything possibly that we can integrate to your order, we put in this page. And some of the things you could see, for example, are, you could see like seller feedback. So if someone left you a feedback rating, we'll tie it back into the order, so you'll see that this order left you a feedback. Or for example, let's say you send out an email through our platform, then you can see, hey, there was one email sent for this day at this time, this campaign, and even tell you if the customer has opened it or not. So it actually has individual open rates.
That's really interesting. So we know actually engaging of the customer as well.
Right, exactly. And there's a lot of data in here, so you can see, like, you know, their order ID, their address, their name. We actually just integrated a new feature, refund and returns. We can actually get this data real time right now. I'm not sure if anyone's using any current email automation tool, but the Amazon API, when they bring the data for the return refunds, it's usually delayed by, you know, a few days to a few weeks, because the data comes in through a settlement report. But we have a way to now integrate that data from your email notification into the platform directly. So anytime there's a refund or return that happens, we get that data as soon as you get it. And why is this important is because in your email automation that you set up later on, you can exclude these kind of orders. So if they return a product or refunded a product, you can say, hey, I don't want to send an email out to these guys. Because sometimes when you send out an email to ask for product reviews for return and refunds, it's likely they didn't have a pleasant experience and you don't want to solicit, a review
For
for
feedback,
those.
sure.
Yeah. So, and then there's also like, repeat buyers. You can click on their name. You can see all the orders they purchased from you. And we can also target repeat buyers as well. You can send them different emails if you like, different messages. So yeah, this orders page is actually very powerful. And also you can also send out individual emails without using a campaign as well. So if I select the orders and I say send email, I can choose one of the templates that I've created. And then you can preview it. And what it does is it'll plug in all the data, like this person bought a clock. So you can see this order is for a clock. This order is for a pencil. This order is for a shoe, right? So all the variables that you plug in your email templates will be plugged in here, and you can actually send them a direct email as well. So sometimes that might be useful. So let's jump into the email templates.
That is really nice. Like, I will just introduce this in Italian to them so they will know what it is. So, quindi ragazzi, questa cosa praticamente vi permette di creare mail in tempo reale, e come vi ha fatto vedere prima lui, quello che succede è che voi potete, diciamo, direttamente andare a mettere anche delle informazioni in più, tipo per esempio una GIF, potete mettere quello che volete voi. E la cosa bella è che lui automaticamente mette già la foto del prodotto, così loro sanno, i clienti sanno che è relativo a quel prodotto lì, e quindi potrete personalizzare al 100%. Adesso quello che faremo è andare direttamente nell'account di prova per fare una prova, creare un'email con un template di prova, diciamo, e così mandi anche, come ha fatto vedere adesso, possiamo mandare anche un'email al cliente. Perfect, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about how we can actually create these templates. So we have a template manager here, and we have some pre-built templates where you can load with our recommended messages. These are all TOS friendly. So, nothing in here will get you in trouble through Amazon.
Yeah.
And although our system is, we're complying with Amazon, the template in here, the content, you can write whatever you want, right? We can't really prevent you from writing things like, oh yeah, I'm going to give you a coupon here, or here's my email address. But these kind of things, the seller has to be aware of what you can and can't put in these templates.
Sure.
And I'll show you, we actually have a link that tells you where those rules are. So for example, let's say I wanted to use this holiday template here. It's preloaded for me. And it's actually very simple. This banner here is actually just a JPEG image,
Okay.
right? So you can actually copy and paste any image directly in here yourself. So, and the way that these templates work is we use these variables. So these variables will plug in the data for each order. So all the variables are located right here. We have all different types of variables you can use, like your company name, the order ID, their name, different links to contact seller, ask for product reviews, request, even shipping and tracking information. So you can
plug in English, right?
These are all in English, but you can, let's say you wanted to send out an Italian version, then all you have to do is change the text. So you can copy and paste in any type of text, Chinese, Italian, doesn't matter.
Okay.
The links itself, you can change the link. So the link will take you to the correct page. But let's say you want to say contact us here. The contact us variable is right here. So if you change it, and you can, I don't know how to say contact us in Italian, but you could change the text and write whatever you want, right?
Oh, okay, okay.
It can be done in any language. So it's not like it's only English.
Okay.
Another cool thing I could show you too is instead of using text, you can actually plug in images as the link. So we have this website here called thebuttonfactory.com. You can actually create custom buttons. So let's say you wanted to create a link that says contact us. And let's say I want to make it look like the Amazon color so that it stands out, right? There's all this customization you can do and play around with it. Let's say I put a border, color effect. Very simple to put this in. All I have to do is go here, copy image, come back in here, and then just paste the image where the
Wow,
contacts
that's
are.
easy. Okay, that's nice.
So now you can create very nice looking, buttons wherever you like.
Yeah.
And this link, take them to the link still. So now if I click on this, it's going to take them to the contact page in Seller Central where they can contact you. And you can do this for any link. And it doesn't have to be this picture. So you can plug and play any picture you want. So yeah, you can kind of see how this works. So like the product image here is shown here, right? And you can also cycle through different orders too. So you want to see, oh, what does my other product look like? It'll automatically populate this data into the template for you. So,
that's really interesting.
So yeah, it's very easy to build, very powerful. So there's other templates where I showed you earlier, but your audience. So a lot of people use animated GIFs now. This is like the new thing, right? Like people putting these kind of. So you can actually build a whole email sequence with using animated GIFs. So if you wanted to say thank you instead of writing thank you, you can find a funny picture like this, right? And then all you same thing. You just do copy image, come back in here, and let's say I wanted to put it out here. Just paste it in here, and now you have the image, and it's very easy. If you want to resize it, you can just drag it, resize it. All our templates are scalable, meaning based on whatever device they open in, it will scale the images and the text, so it always displays in the correct format. So yeah, this is basically how you create a template, and you can save it and then send yourself a test email. You can see what it actually looks like.
You can create templates for each scenario. So if you have like a bad review, or you want to have a follow-up, or you want to ask for a review, you can build different templates and then send it out whenever is the situation in a specific template.
Right, and you can also tag these yourself. So let's say you have different brands that you want to segregate. Let's say you have brand A and brand B, and brand A has, like you said, 3 different templates, right? One for order shipment, one for review request. Now you can color code these, so later on in the template manager page is easier to organize. And then you can also say, hey, this is for a shipping info, right? So these are internal for your feedback Whiz only. Customers not going to see this. The customer, however, will see the subject line. So the subject line, you can also use the variables. So if you want to address them by customer first name, then you can just put in customer first name, right? Thank you for your order, right? And then when the customer gets the email, they're going to see this in their email subject line inbox. You can also attach email attachments too. So sometimes you might have a PDF file where, let's say you wanted to, put in some information about how to use your product, right? Or tips on, how to keep your product under good conditions, things like that. So you can also attach email attachments as well. So after let's just save this. Actually, our template builder has some pretty advanced detection too, to make sure your links work. The way I formatted this link was incorrect, so I actually have to go back and fix it. But there's actually a help that tells you how to do it. So you can click in here if you have an error, and then you can fix it. And then here's also the buyer selling messaging rules. So if you click here, this tells you everything you can and can't do in the emails.
Perfect. The terminal TOS, perfect. Yeah,
it's good too for people that aren't really familiar with Amazon email automation. They can read it. So after you create a template, what you want to do is you can now create a campaign. And what campaign does is it selects a template, but then you can also target, which orders you want to send it out to, what time you want to send it out to. So for example, most sellers usually send out 2 or 3 emails. So the first email goes out maybe one day after the order shipped, or the same time the order ships, right? And this email is basically saying, thanks for your order. Here's a contact us link in case, when you receive your product, there's a problem, please contact us, right? And maybe the tracking information. So this email is kind of like an engagement email. And it's almost like to prevent getting a negative review in case there's a problem, right? So you want to send that email out. You don't want to ask them for a review in this first email because it's too early to ask, right? They haven't gotten the product. you know, sometimes it might make them angry if you ask too early. So that's one email you can send out. So you set up one campaign for that one email to send out, and each campaign sends out one email only once per order. So if you want to send out 2 or 3 messages per order to your customers, you would have to set up you know, sequence 1, 2, and 3. Sequence 2 would be, you know, when the order gets delivered, let's say depending on what kind of product you sell, you would have to determine, you know, how many days do I want to send it out after they receive the item? Do they have enough time to evaluate the product? Sometimes you send it out too early, they haven't had a chance to review it and use it, they won't leave you a review. If you send it out too late, they might have forgot about it, right? Yeah. So you want to find a sweet spot. Most people send it a few days later to a week, so you can determine that. So let me jump into one of these campaigns to show you how this is done. It's very simple as well. So all you do is select one of the email templates that you created. So if this is for feedback request, and you know, you named it feedback request, just select it. And you can choose your marketplace too. So we actually offer all the European and North American marketplaces, and we will have Japan, India, and Australia launched in a week or so.
Perfect.
So when you connect, if you have all those marketplaces, you will see it in the drop down here, and you can select. And then there's different status options. So the first email that went out, you want to do it when it ships, right? So in that case, you would do shipped. In this case, you would do delivered, because you want to send it when it's delivered. And then you can send it out as soon as it's delivered, right? Or you can send it out at a specific time. Usually we recommend sending out a specific time because, you know, people open emails at different times. So the American customers, the best time to send it out is usually 8 a.m. Pacific time, because this covers both the West Coast and East Coast. So Pacific time, 8 a.m. and the East Coast would be like 11 a.m. So there's a 3-hour difference. Yeah. So this optimal time that both sides can open and read the emails depending on where the customer is from, and then you can select how many days after you know, delivered you want to send it out to. And then here is like, you can either do it for all your products, or let's say you have different brands where you want to select, you know, only want to do it for these 3 products, right? So that you can select it, and then that's it. And then you can also exclude. So let's say you're asking for feedback, right? Yeah. Obviously, you don't want to send this email if they left you feedback, so you probably want to exclude all the feedback, right? So if they left you feedback, our system knows about it because we already tie it back to your orders, then it won't send it out to them. Or let's say they had a return or refund, you don't want to send it out to them as well. So you can select check boxes, and then you can save it, and then you just do review and save, and then that's it. And then the campaign will start running on its own.
That's pretty easy.
Yep.
You just target the customers that you want the email to, just want to send email to specific customers, just the ones that actually met the specific characteristics that we want them to have in this case.
Right. And sometimes, like, you know, some sellers might sell FBM and some might sell FBA, right? Maybe they're doing private label and some they're doing resale, right? Yeah. So private label, they care more about product reviews, right? So maybe you have a specific template only asking for product reviews for those 3 products. So you can now target that campaign to target those 3 products versus you're reselling someone else's product where you want the seller feedback, right? And then maybe those 3 products, you can say, hey, I want FBM and I only want to get send out my seller feedback template, right? So it'll be customized. And after you send it out, once you create a campaign, you know, it's going to have different statistics in here that show you like how many emails I send out in the past week or month, and it also show you like emails open, so you can see the open rates as well. And so the open rate is the most important thing. If the open rate's low, that means that your subject line is not good. Yeah. People aren't actually opening it. So if that's the case, now you can A/B test these. So we have an A/B testing module where you can come in and you can split up your campaign into up to 5 different splits. So let's say you want to try 5 different subject lines and run it for a week or a month and see which subject line is doing the best.
Oh, that's really interesting.
The statistics here that show you, like, you know, maybe this 3rd subject line that's, you know, this hello, you know, thanks for your order or something. Maybe this one does the best, right? Then you can see the analytics on that. And this will also show you how many emails are sent out. So that's a really good way to increase your engagement. The best subject line, a lot of people ask, what's the best subject line? Since we have so much data. The best subject line is using very generic not too much detail about what the email is about. So regarding your Amazon order number, and then you can use the variable order ID, right? This will automatically put in the order ID. So this subject line here actually gets anywhere between 40 to 60% open rate. That's because it sounds very important, but at the same time, it doesn't tell you very much about what it's about.
And then you click because you want to see, sure.
Exactly. But if you write something like, please leave me a product review, a lot of time they might open it because they already know what it's about, and they just don't have time for it, right? They don't want to open it. So if you have the right subject line and you have the right template, so one of the templates that I can show you that we created, very funny, there's different strategies on how you want to engage your customers. You can become very professional, send a very nice template, or you can do something more like funny, engaging, where like your target audience might be whatever product you're selling. If you're selling baby products, maybe your target audience is mothers. They might be more sensitive to, cute things or baby stuff, right? So you can throw in baby images. And this way it breaks down the template where it's not just all text. You have both text and pictures. That way they'll actually go through and, read it, right? And they read it and maybe they find this, oh, this is really creative, really funny. I want to leave this guy a review because they did a good job, right? And this is how you can actually get more reviews rather than just sending out a generic template. So it's actually, there's a lot of psychology involved with sending these out too. And, our tool allows you to do all this kind of stuff, so. Yeah, Seller Central, right now, I'm not sure how a lot of sellers are sending out emails, but it's pretty much, you can't really put in any links or images or
no, it's really limited, I mean, you can do like the basics.
Basics, yeah. So through the API, we are allowed to push all this data through. So your, customers will see all the pictures and links and text in the end.
I think that the most important part is that you can actually personalize everything you want to sell to the customers. Plus, you can actually check and manage and also see the stats of what is happening on your emails based on the emails that you sent out. Like, for example, the thing that splits out the different subjects. I think that is really interesting because then you know which one is working better. So at least you know exactly which way to send emails to customers. Maybe for a specific product, so you know that, for example, you're sending this GIF over here and then customers are happy and I'm replying to that. So you know that you have to apply this strategy right now to make it work better. So I think this is really, really useful to have inside the Seller Central to manage and check and even improve the quality of like emails and statistics that you have through Amazon. Because Seller Central, like, let's face it, it's basic and sometimes it's just too messy to understand in some ways. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so our goal is trying to make this really easy for people to set up and very powerful and simple. That's the goal. So after you guys send out these emails, of course, your goal is to try to get more product reviews or seller feedback. So we do also monitor seller feedback. We have this feedback page where you can monitor all your seller feedback here. And of course, probably most experienced sellers know if it's FBA, if it's negative, then it's very simple for Amazon to remove it. Just contact customer support and then paste in the order ID and automatically just remove it most of the time because Amazon is responsible for the customer support side of the management. But FBM, then you might need to send an email out, and at the same time you can create a template. And let's say you want to send out because this one you can also automate this if you want, because in the campaigns you can target feedback, right? You can send automated messages, but usually it's better to send a personalized message because every negative feedback has a different scenario, right? So if it's FBM, then you can contact customer in the same way. You can select the template and it'll populate all the data, and then you can have a customized message to ask them to change the feedback or whatever it is. In terms of product reviews, we can also grab all the product reviews from your Amazon store. So we have this monitoring tool here where by default, when you connect, it'll load up everything in your inventory. And you can select and choose I want to monitor, reviews for these SKUs or these ASINs, and then you move it here and save it. You can import your own ASINs. So if you want to monitor your competitors' product reviews, you can. And then you can save it. Once you save it, then you go to the product review manager page, and we update your reviews every 6 hours. So through here, you actually read the content of every review that comes in. You can also view the Amazon page directly, so it'll take you directly to the page. You can comment here, logging into your account, and you know, you can search by keywords too. So you know, we're trying to improve this to make it where it's automatic, but you can search for like, hey, every review that has the word broken inside or something. You know, you can help identify trends. You can search by time frame, and then let's say you only care about your low star rating reviews, or maybe you only care about the ones that are verified, then it's very, very quick to filter this data. You can see it all here, and you can also group it by the product itself too. So if, let's say I wanted to refresh this page without any filters, then you can see all your products and read them all at once, right? So you don't have to go through like the whole reading reviews on Amazon is such a pain, right? They keep changing the way the buttons are, where you click on, how to sort it. Now you can read it all at once, right? It's all here. So this is actually really powerful. And the other thing too is, let's say someone left you a negative review, and you want to see if I can figure out who this person is. Now Amazon's removed pretty much all ways to identify the customer, but they still show you the pen name of the review, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, the pen name will, I'd say about 40% of the time, the pen name is actually a real name. The other times, it's probably like Amazon customer or some weird name. So in the case where you find a name that's actually a real name, you can actually come back here and copy their name, and then you can go back to their orders page, because we have the ability to search for name or buyer or shipping recipient. So you can actually copy in here and then search like 365 days, because they can leave a review anytime. And then you can try to see if you can find the product. So you can also just dial it down by ASIN as well. So let's say you search this name, shows up in the manager, then through this manager again, you can click on their name, send email, and send them a message as well. So
you have a way to actually engage with them, even if they're like hidden in a way. So
right. Yeah. So and of course, when you engage with them, you just have to be careful on how you engage with them, because it has to be within the Amazon terms of service. So you can't say, hey, I read your negative review, I'll give you a full refund if you remove it. You can't do that, obviously. So it's more like, are you willing to take the are you willing to just give them a refund or replacement without asking to remove it, right? And then just to get that initial contact, and then afterwards, then you can be a little bit more creative and let them know that, hey, I'm a small business, and our reviews are really important to us, and we feel like customer service is part of the review process, or something like that. It's kind of like hinting them, not directly saying it. So be a little creative with how you communicate with the customers.
Maybe you just do the refund saying, we read your review, we know that it was not a good experience, we already issued a refund, please consider, I don't know, something, and
exactly. But just don't directly say, hey, can you please revise your review, because in the TOS
in that case, no.
So you can read this. There's a whole customer product review policy in here that will tell you.
Actually, and that Amazon is really careful, because you have to send them exactly like the specific things. And sometimes, like for example, in Italy, I've seen sellers that were actually sending emails to customers asking for review, like give me 3-star, 4-star review, like how many stars they wanted, and actually they were putting inside the package a piece of paper saying, hey, please give me a 5-star review. That's it. So then, hello, just give me a 5-star review. So that is something we shouldn't be doing, but the sellers, they do that to customers sometimes. And
a lot of people still do it. It's just a risk, right? Are you willing to take that risk or not? Because Amazon is being more strict about it. They're definitely cracking down and warning people about it. So just be careful. And so the last part of our program that we didn't really discuss is the report section. So you can actually download all this data that we just discussed into a CSV file.
Okay.
So order, reviews, feedback. You just download it, and then you can view all that data yourself. And some people use this data to run like ads on Facebook. In the US, it's very popular. I'm not sure about Europe if it's allowed or not, but data is there, so it's free for you to use however you like. It is your data. So
yeah, we use Facebook to do like ads to specific customers, specific interest, or like age or interest in specific products. Yes, we can do that, and we do that. Like most of us, they don't do it, but for example, I do it for some products. So yes. The US is different. The US is, I mean, the market I was selling in the US until 2017, something like that. Maybe, yeah, of 2017. And yeah, the market is completely different from Europe. I mean, Europe is really slow. Just UK is a little bit bigger. But like, for example, Italy is really small and the market is really low. You can sell like specific products like iPhone cases, for example, you always sell that. But the market there is really competitive. But the good thing about Europe is it's brand new. So you have a chance to go inside and actually have your own niche and become like the main seller for that specific niche.
Right. Yeah, we've seen that too. I know US is extremely competitive, but Europe is like kind of like 4 or 5 years behind, but it's catching up. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing all this like helpful information with us. As I was telling you before, I will do like a video at the end of this meeting to actually try to sum up all the information for my subscribers. Sure. So thank you again both for being here with me today, and I hope to see you soon. Like I was telling them that we would do like a trip together in Rome, so maybe we can do like a conference in Rome all together. So
yeah, definitely. Let's see if we can plan something like that. We have tons of conferences here in the US that we go to, but maybe towards the end of the year or something. I don't know what's the best time to go out there weather-wise, but yeah, we can discuss offline to see if there's an opportunity. That'd be great.
Thank you very much. Quindi ragazzi, avete visto, è un tool molto utile, vi consente di fare moltissime cose. All'interno di questo tool potete anche gestire le vostre campagne, delle campagne email per quando il vostro prodotto viene acquistato, per quando il prodotto viene spedito, per quando viene consegnato e per richiedere una recensione. Queste cose qui ragazzi ovviamente vanno sempre fatte seguendo i termini e le condizioni di Amazon, come ha specificato anche Hanson durante la chiamata. La cosa importante che dobbiamo ricordarci di questo tool è che è tutto quanto integrato con il nostro Seller Central, quindi facciamo il link del nostro Seller Central con questo tool in modo da riuscire a monitorare tutte quante le informazioni, e grazie a queste informazioni possiamo poi inviare email ai clienti, possiamo gestire le recensioni, vedere chi ci ha lasciato magari una recensione negativa, capire magari il motivo e poter contattare quel cliente. Possiamo anche creare delle mail personalizzate, cosa che tramite Amazon non possiamo fare, tramite il tool classico di Amazon. La cosa bella che ci hanno fatto anche vedere è che si possono mettere i pulsanti personalizzati, si possono mettere link, si possono mettere anche le GIF, cosa molto carina perché possiamo creare un messaggio personalizzato da mandare ai nostri clienti, e di conseguenza questa credo sia una cosa molto utile. Per tutti quelli che sono interessati insomma a utilizzare questo tool, ho fatto ovviamente un'affiliazione con questa azienda e trovate il link in descrizione con le informazioni riguardanti l'affiliazione. Ok ragazzi, grazie mille per aver seguito il video fino a qui. Mi raccomando, se non l'avete ancora fatto potete iscrivervi a questo canale e seguirmi anche su Instagram, e noi ragazzi ci vediamo nel prossimo video. Ciao!